Hi everyone, we are back for another quick 5-minute tutorial about how to engage with the Denver City Council redistricting process. So in this video, I am going to show you how to look at the current maps and also how to look at them through an equity lens and walk you through the tool of the map so that you can evaluate them for yourself. So I am going to share my screen, and I just like to start with Google because I feel like that is where most people start so that you can see the whole process of how to navigate. So I'm just going to look up Redistricting Denver 2022, and here it is. So you're going to go, it says draw your council district. It's actually, closed. That process is now closed. You can no longer submit your own maps. We can only look at and provide comments on proposed maps. So I don't think this is the most intuitive, but you want to click this button. So, and then you will scroll down and it'll say start mapping your district. Don't go there. We've already mapped. We want to view the proposed district maps. So go here. Okay, so you will see over here on the left, plans A, B, C, D, E, and F. Those are the proposed maps that we will be evaluating. So you can pull up a map, and then at the bottom, there are different tabs. There are also different where you can see demographics, you can see the plan narratives, and then over here, you'll see the deviation. This is important because this has to do with compactness and also, making sure that for the most part, the council districts are relatively, have the same number of people in them. Not the same, but almost very close, within 10% deviation. And then there's this screen here where you can scroll through and you can see different data points on the map. And so I'll show you a little bit more about scrolling through here in a moment as we look for some of the equity pieces. And then the other place I want to point you out to are the layers. So here you can pull up things like communities of interest, and you can see, okay, here are all the maps that people drew for their communities of interest, the communities that they said that they don't want to see split up. So you can see them here on the map, and then you can see the proposed lines of this map laid over top of them. So I made a post earlier, or a tweet earlier, about looking at the maps from an equity perspective, or making sure that we're not gerrymandering. So one of the pieces that you want to look at with when looking to see if a map is being gerrymandered is if there are a majority of districts that are majority white. So that's one of the first things that I looked at when I was doing my personal analysis. So I'm going to actually turn off this communities of interest layer. I think it's a little distracting. We just want to isolate one particular piece of data. So I'm looking at map A, and you can see here I have moved this part over so that we're looking at the percentage of white non-Hispanic people on this map. So you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 districts in this map where more than 50% of people in a district are white. And so then I just went through each map to look at that. And you'll see in this map, in map B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 districts have more than 50% people who are white. So that's one point of analysis that you might want to look at. Another point of analysis that I was looking at that you also might want to explore with the maps are, where are we putting our basically our room for growth, right? So, and how I thought about that is that we've pushed a lot of people in Denver, especially a lot of people being, we have pushed poor people and people of color to the outer edges of the city, to the inverted L. So the places that can take more growth, and that also when we looked at the original maps, I'll show you my dry erase map very quickly. The places that can take more population growth are going to be 2, 4, 5, and 6, right? Those are places that haven't been overdeveloped, and they're also places that can take more population growth. So I also looked at the maps to see where are they putting growth, where are they basically pushing over that 65,000 people threshold? Are they putting it in those areas that have space for growth? So you'll see in Plan A as an example that here we've got 2, 4, 5, and 6 taking a big population chunk because they have space for that growth. Places like 3 and 9 aren't going to be meeting that 65,000 person threshold, because, or getting close to it, because we want to have space there for people to move in there, knowing that might happen. And additionally, another way you can look at this is with the layers, and they have this layer called areas of planned growth. But not to get confusing, we just want to isolate right now this population piece. So then we want to look through the maps. So for instance, then when I switched to map F and looked at the population, I really felt that this was putting this 65,000 person threshold too heavily in District 3. In District 3, we also might see some census undercounting. So we really don't want to, we want to leave some space for growth here, right? We also see that this has really pushed the threshold in District 8, another place where we want to see some space for growth. We want to see, again, those districts 4, 5, and 6 that can take that growth. We want to see that occur in those maps. So that's another point of analysis that you might want to look at. Okay, I believe that I have reached my 5-minute limit. So I hope that this gives you some tips and tricks for how to navigate and evaluate these redistricting maps. And I hope that you both play with this tool, that you learn something, and that you also, when you learn something, you share it with someone else, or you make a comment to one of your elected officials about which map you think is the best for our community.